This is News 14 Carolina Meteorologist Matthew East. Thanks for clicking on to today's edition of the Carolina weather video. Back to a normal type of schedule today after our snow event across the state yesterday. Now, this is a preliminary map of the snow totals. This has not been updated after a lot of the snow that occurred late yesterday into yesterday evening in the eastern part of the state. But these are general snow totals. Parts of Mecklenburg County, 2 to 3 inches, 4 to 5 inches in Anson County and Stanley County. Same story with Richmond County, 5 inches down in Troy, 4 inches in portions of Randolph County, and 2 inches there in Alamance County. And then the totals got even heavier when you get over toward the Raleigh-Durham area. Some folks actually went up with 7 or 8 inches in that way, in that direction, around the Pittsburgh area. And the snow continued even on toward coastal parts of the Carolinas. So the spots that saw the least amount of snow are really the foothills into the northwest Piedmont. The amounts got heavier the farther east you went. Now this morning it's cold. Temperatures in the teens to lower 20s out there. Black ice is a concern, especially in the areas that still have snow on the ground. And you need to be very careful driving into work or school this morning, as there could be certainly some slick, icy spots on the roadways. But the pattern is about to change. Notice this big area of high pressure along the Gulf Coast. For a while, we've had this pattern of a big ridge out west and trough in the east, and that's about to change. More subtropical jet influence will be moving across the lower 48 with time over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to get into sort of a split flow type of pattern. There's the map for this morning off the GFS up at 500 millibars, and watch how that changes in a few days. And you can see that split flow setting up. Occasionally intrusions of cold air in the east, and also occasionally some southern branch storm systems. It's a challenging pattern we're entering, but also one that should produce a little bit more in the way of storm systems as we go through the next couple of weeks. Now, it's also a pattern the models are really going to struggle with as we make this pattern change, and they are certainly struggling this morning. All right, this is the 0Z run of the GFS1 this afternoon. A sunny day, but a chilly day. Highs upper 30s to a best lower 40s. In the Piedmont, it'll be another very cold night tonight, lows upper teens to lower 20s, and then we begin to moderate tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, high pressure over Florida, southwesterly flow settling on in, and we're going to be looking at a day tomorrow with highs toward the upper side of the 40s, maybe even some low 50s in the Piedmont, and then everybody up into the 50s Friday afternoon. And then we see this weak storm system moving in on the GFS. That could bring us a few showers Friday night or Saturday morning. This is 7 a.m. Saturday. And from here, the modeling really spreads all over the place. And I don't have any confidence really in any specific solution, but I think the general idea here as we get into the weekend and next week is a cold front is going to push in and stall out somewhere around the region. Now, it could be across Georgia and South Carolina. It could be across the Virginias. Just don't know yet. But wherever that front stalls out, there will occasionally be disturbances riding along it. At some point, we probably wind up with some type of cold air damming scenario and potential wintry weather, but I just don't have a good feeling for exactly when that might be. The GFS brings a weak system through Saturday night into Sunday, and then again, this is Tuesday evening, another weak system on the GFS. But again, the timing of these disturbances, I don't have a lot of confidence in. Yesterday, the European model and the GFS have been in somewhat of agreement on several runs, but this was 12Z yesterday's European, and this is valid Wednesday morning. Nice low pressure area moving through the Carolinas. That brought a shot of wintry precip. And again, it's all going to depend on exactly where that frontal boundary sets up this weekend and next week to see how much cold air we have around in the Carolinas as to whether or not we will have any further wintry weather threats. Again, I get the feeling we might, but I just don't have a good feeling when exactly that might be. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everyone have a wonderful Wednesday, and God bless.